Peace to all the gods and goddesses. Today is a very special day. It is the 10-year anniversary of Corporal Micah Xavier Johnson of the U.S. Army Reserve. Just want to give a special shout out to him. Man, 7/7/2016. What a special day. Let's jump right into it. Let me give you guys some context as to what the hell I'm talking about.
Shortly before 9 p.m. on July 7, 2016, Micah Johnson parked his black SUV on Lamar Street in front of El Centro College. The hazard lights were still flashing. He put on a tan body armor vest and headed south towards Main Street. At 8:58 p.m., as demonstrators made their way east on Main Street, Johnson fired his automatic or semi-automatic rifle into a police car and at Dallas police officers who were walking among the protesters. His bullets struck and killed Senior Corporal Lauren Ahrens, Officer Michael Kroll, and Officer Patrick Zamarripa. 3 Dallas officers, Gretchen Rocha, Ivan Saldana, and Jorge Barrientos, and a civilian, Shatamia Taylor, were also injured. Johnson headed north on Lamar and shot the glass doors at one of El Centro's entrances, but he could not get through. 2 El Centro police officers, John Abbott and Corporal Brian Shaw, were behind the doors and were injured. About 50 students and teachers were inside wrapping up class. Johnson continued north and sneaked up on DART officer Brent Thompson, fatally shooting him from behind as the officer peered around a pillar. Johnson continued to fire after Thompson fell to the ground. Abbott then left the building to help Thompson. Johnson turned onto Elm Street and shot his way into El Centro through glass doors. About 15 minutes had passed since the first shot. Johnson was injured at some point, and law enforcement officials followed his bloody trail inside the building. Johnson went up the stairs and through the library on the second floor. Despite his injuries, Shaw followed Johnson into the stairwell, and Johnson shot at him. Shaw retreated but remained in the building. On the second floor, Johnson went through the library and into a hallway. Johnson wrote the letters RB in 2 places inside the building in his own blood. Through a window on the north side of the building, Johnson fired down at police officers on Elm Street. He struck and killed Sergeant Michael Smith as the officer climbed out of his car by 7-Eleven. DART officer Jesus Reitana was shot in the triceps while he worked near the DART West End station. A bullet also pierced his police radio. Johnson was holed up in an alcove at the end of a crooked hallway in the center of the building. Law enforcement did not have a clear line of sight on him. An hours-long standoff ended around 1:30 a.m. July 8th when Dallas Police Chief David Brown ordered 2 officers to arm a remote control robot with C4. The officer sent the robot down a separate narrow hallway toward Johnson. The C4 was detonated and the explosion killed Johnson. 2 handguns and what appears to be a Saiga IZ-240, also called an AK-74, were found with his body.
And I think it's a little important, or I think it's very important to get an idea of the kind of person he was, who he was raised by, who his siblings were, because I don't like to just let the media tell it to us. You know how they are. So this is his sister immediately after 7/17/2016.
The sister of the sniper Micah Johnson, who assassinated 5 Dallas police officers, spoke out on Wednesday before the ambush, claiming on social media that cops needed to get a taste of the life we now fear. This is an undated photo of his sibling, Nicole Johnson, who first denied her brother's actions, claiming on Facebook that he wasn't a madman, but a short time later she fired back at commenters. "White people have and will continue to kill us off," she wrote. "The only difference is they serve the system, hiding behind that blue suit, and get off easy murdering civilians." She deleted the damning posts a short time later. Micah Xavier Johnson, a decorated Army reservist, was identified as the man who shot 12 police officers at a Black Lives Matter protest in Dallas on Thursday, killing 5 officers.
Man, she cooked. All these white folks get away with doing this type of thing every day, all day. George Jackson said, some people say the only thing that's going to happen in the revolution is black folks going to be unalived. He said that all that's ever happened in history of America has been black folks being unalive. If we flip that system around and white folks join, well, we're better off than before if white folks start joining in and being unalived. As long as we ain't the only ones, then we're better. We're no worse off than before. You know what they like to do after one of these events, as they get the very first black man or woman they can find off the street, put a microphone in front of him and put a camera in his face, and you know what he's gonna do? Start tap dancing, shucking and driving, or she. He know he wasn't supposed to do that. That boy wrong as hell. He ain't supposed to be shooting at no cops. That boy crazy. Police ain't do shit to me. So I think it's important to see people with, quote unquote, woke-minded individuals who are on his side and supportive of his actions. So that's what we're gonna look at here.
I remember his face. He was a very handsome young man and just very warm and welcome. There was nothing out of the ordinary about him at all. So we welcomed him, and he said that he was very happy to have found a place like this. You know, it's just like in awe and just looking around. So I just asked him to look around. If he needed any help, let me know.
And I'm just wondering, when you saw his face and you learned what had happened, did you wish he came back to your store?
Well, I think we were all hoping, especially in our community, that please don't let it be someone that looks like us. Please, please, please don't let it be someone that we know. And it turns out it wasn't someone we knew, but it was someone who we were acquainted with and that we could attach ourselves to, right? But I felt a little responsible in a sense, because we feel that we are space that can give some type of positive direction, and we had more time with him to sort of guide him, give him a better foundation, maybe than what he was getting on Facebook or YouTube or something like that, that we could have helped redirect that energy to something more positive.
Boom. And then he has a childhood friend that they
He
find.
was actually really outgoing, really funny. He was one of the first friends I met when I got to Horn, and we were always joking and laughing. We were kind of similar in high school. Our group was like the outcasts. So, you know, I was a skateboarder, I played guitar, I was in band, and our other friends was in choir, and he was in ROTC, so we all naturally gravitated towards each other, you know. He was really outgoing and funny. You couldn't go a day without him making you laugh at least twice a day.
So many people talk about these lone gunmen as loners, people who didn't have any friends. You're saying that's not the case with him?
No, it's not the case at all. We had a group of friends. He just didn't socialize with everyone. We had our group. We were tight within our group. You know, we all had our own. We'd all hang out. You know, some people, although I've never got a chance to go to his house, we would go out to eat sometimes and meet up, or play at the park with a pickup basketball game. So he had friends. We were all friends. It was about 6 of us that were friends. So,
and did you guys keep in touch after high school as well?
We did. After high school, when he graduated, he went to the military and I went off to college. And when he came back, we met up a few times, and actually we would wrestle, meet up, just like wrestle and have fun, and just him showing me, look what I learned in the military. And it was just the most amazing thing ever. He just seemed so happy.
Now when you look back on it and you know that what he learned in the military was applied right behind us here, how does that make you feel?
It kind of hurt. You know, I didn't think he would do something like that. You know, he didn't show any signs of that back in high school.
Was he ever radicalized?
No.
I mean, apparently on Facebook he liked the new Black Panther Party, and
I didn't know anything about that. I guess it must have been a secret group. So I'm always on Facebook out of pure boredom. So it hurt my feelings to know that he did do something like that, and you know, prayers go out to the family, to his family.
Yeah, man. So he wasn't some crazy lone gunman. He wasn't some insane, you know, MK Ultra. The robots are controlling my mind. He knew exactly what he was doing. Okay, he wasn't some loner, some incel that didn't have friends, couldn't socialize with people, so he just decided to take it out on the world. No, he was a man who was tired. A man who was fed up with the injustices of police brutality. There is no recourse. Micah Xavier Johnson can't get qualified immunity and time off. This is karmic retribution. This is 400 years of slavery, suffering, and death, misery, coming back to bite you in the ass. And this is just one man. This is just one man. Okay.
Not a clinician, but I don't think he was mentally ill. He was very lucid. He was very determined, very charismatic. It's like a nice guy.
I just want to know, X. We talking, having a good conversation right here. Think we're having a pretty good conversation? Yeah, better, I bet. A guy as smart as you probably had a good few conversations. Say it again? You can. You can, X.
Nah, this needs to be done. This is my sacrifice for the people.
How does the conversation turn okay?
I'm doing this for my people, Micah, man. We thank you. We thank you very, very much. Your sacrifice does not go unnoticed. 10 years later, you are still number one on the leaderboard, okay? Nobody's ever come close. You're just on a different level, bro. Thank you. Thank you, Micah. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Second, I think a lot of sisters will probably this year have a baby. I might have a baby, so I can name it Micah.
Yes!
And,
Yes! Yes!
Yeah, I might.
That's right. If you look,
Okay.
yes, that's sister. I mean, keep going. That's what I'm talking about.
Long live the spirit of our martyr, Micah Xavier Johnson. Thank you.
I'll be honest. I was talking, you know how you talk to yourself sometime. I was talking about it and I was saying to myself, I was just talking to myself and I was like, man, if I had another child, which I'm not going to do, but if I had another child, I would name my child Micah. But I didn't think about to say it tonight, but when that sister just said it, to come from our sister, let me say, I'm so glad she was the first one to call. Brothers, do you see, we always talk about our women not supporting us. Did you hear the first person to call was a Black woman? She didn't stutter. She didn't get scared. She wasn't paralyzed with fear like Dr. Amos Wilson tells us. She showed nothing but honor, respect, and love, even point to getting into numerology, trying to find fancy ways to make the brother bigger than life, and then he is bigger than life. You know, I mean, just everything. And then the ultimate sign of respect. The sister said, I may have a child this year. So if I have a child, I'm gonna name him Micah. That means that spirit is still in our people. That means our women are giving us authority and permission to be men. She didn't call and say, how could you say that it ain't none of that? She didn't give us none of that we complain that our women give us. You know why our women give us? Because we ain't men. And our brother Micah has put a mirror up to every Black man.
He ain't lying. Micah Xavier Johnson put a mirror up to every Black man in America. What are you doing to help your people? What are you doing to fight back? What are you doing to change your city in the way that he changed Dallas forever? Dallas will never be the same now.
Context of Black people being under a state of terrorism now, which we all can agree with. Now, we might get confused about that. And this gentleman being trained to identify and fighting terrorism, domestic terrorism, and acts of terrorism, it was actually not only legal, it was the right thing to do in the sense that I feel a little bit safer with him doing it. I feel like if this terrorism continues to go this way, that they're trained Black people who are going to step up and help defend our community. And if it means going to a bloodshed and just hunting down everybody that we even think, like the sister said, if collateral damage, if we think you're a terrorist, we're going to kill you in the defense of African life. I feel like there are people out there that can lead something like that. I'm not trained in that, so I don't know how to identify these folks. But we do know that they're terrorists because we're seeing the terrorism occur in the Black community. Now we need people with those skills to be able to show us, how do we identify them? How do we isolate them? How do we kill them? How do we do it? And then we need our legal people to come say, how do we do this in the context of the Patriot Act and of the Second Amendment and the First Amendment and just within the legality of the laws of the land, so that we're doing something that's legal and defending the lives of our community and ending terrorism up against the Black world community. We got 12 more minutes that we're going to be on.
And I think it's like beautifully ironic that Micah did what he did at a peaceful protest at a rally. Like, it just goes to show you that there's two kinds of Black people, essentially. There's the Micah Xavier Johnson, and there's the ones that hold up signs and march down the street and rally, which, you know, I'm not knocking you, but like Gavin Long said, you have never seen a lion peacefully protest holding up signs when a gang of hyenas come to attack his ass. You're not going to see it anywhere in nature. When an elephant is being poached by poachers in Africa, do you think the elephant is peacefully protesting? No. The elephants be running down on towns and cities, flipping cars over, running people over. Elephants remember. People think, man, natural, that's what he's talking about, the law of the land. How do we get rid of these people legally with the law of the land? There are natural laws. There are God-given, nature-given, universe-given laws that the universe has to follow. Micah Xavier Johnson balanced out that universe. Or at least he tried to balance out the universe, or tried to move it closer towards balance. 5 lives towards equilibrium. And there's only going to be more people like this. Like, you're not going to keep getting away with Alton Sterling, locking up Carmelo Anthony, unaliving Cyrus Carmack Belton. You're not going to keep getting Rick Chow acquitted. You're not going to keep being able to do this with no one doing anything about it. It's not going to happen. And I will say that to the men who are Army reservists, Marines, Navy, Air Force, anybody, even if you're in the police force, you should be doing something with your community. And I will say this, we do need Black cops. And I don't like cops at all. I don't like any cops, but we absolutely need Black cops. Because if we are at all going to change the system, we have to have people within every aspect of it. We need Black judges, Black lawyers, in the same way that you see these Italians or the other group of people that you can't name, they raise people. They have members of the family that are raised for a specific person. Like, this guy's going to grow up, he's going to be our lawyer. This guy's going to grow up, he's going to go in the police force, he's going to be our inside man in the police force. Black people need this. You don't think Italians have judges that give each other lighter sentence? Of course they do. And if they don't now, they absolutely did way back when. Or in the 60s, the 70s. They were controlling New York. They ran the lottery. The lottery came from Black people and Italians. That's the numbers game. So we need to be infiltrating and getting inside of these systems, learning how to identify these people that are committing this harm against us. I mean, look at all these goddamn white supremacists within the police force. They're joining the police force. Where are the Black people? Where are the Black nationalists? We can't just keep marching down the street forever. We have to actually get some folks that are doing some things, all right? That's my 2 cents on that idea.
You know, one of the police officers that Micah is associated and affiliated with neo-Nazi groups. So this suspected race soldier, Lauren Aaron, his Facebook page has all types of symbolisms that's associated with the Nazis. He also has tattoos that's on his arm that's associated with white extremist groups. There's also that cross, that neo cross. He has that on his finger, that iron cross on his finger. So he has all types of neo paraphernalia. Even his page, some of the pages that he liked are like these far-right anti-black pages. So there's evidence to support that this guy, that's the link right there. This guy is a suspected neo-Nazi. So Micah wasn't even aiming for it and got one. And the white supremacy, the media, they want you to be sympathetic to the lives of everybody who ain't black, but I'm not sympathetic to the life of a person who is a suspected neo who will kill me at the drop of a hat. I say that's the universe. That's the universe. You got to take that up with God, because that sounds like karma. Getting rid of a white supremacist who's pretending to be a cop, harming innocent people based on race.
Look, it's wrong. Of course that is wrong. And obviously 2 wrongs don't make a right, but it damn sure makes it even. Sister Soldier, we need some black cops up in that piece doing some things. But of course, all this is just my opinion. I'm not telling you guys to go commit harm. Don't do anything illegal. Please follow the law.
Micah, a terrorist, but they wouldn't dare call Dylan Roof a terrorist. To this day, they will not call Dylan Roof a damn terrorist. And see, they got that whole violence isn't the answer talk. And that's why they don't want to say his name. On a lot of shows on television, they won't say Micah's name no more. If you notice that? If you look at television, look at the news, they stop saying his name because he is a hero to a lot of people. He is a hero to a lot of people because he stood up against oppression, basically, and that's how a lot of people are viewing that. So he is a hero to a lot of people.
He's a hero to me, and he should, or maybe he might be a hero to you. If he is, please like the video, subscribe, do all that good jazz. I'm really not too sure what else I can say, besides milking it. But I'm sure you guys didn't come here just to watch me play videos. You guys want my 2 cents. So I'll close out with this. Micah Xavier Johnson, your sacrifice will never be forgotten. You are a hero, a man amongst men, a god amongst gods. I don't know how else I could possibly give you the honor and respect that you deserve. But no, you are in our hearts, and you're in my thoughts every day. Every single day. Thank you, Micah.